Welcome to episode 9 of Some Kind of Fun, where we ask the important question, is this ska?
I think it is.
Okay.
It's kind of ska.
It's like ska-ish. What?
Ska-ish.
Do I
If it's not ska-ish, it's crap. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Really.
Paul, Claire, what shows have you been to lately that you've liked, maybe one that was named after you?
Well, I'll let Paul go ahead and start, I guess.
I had one of the best nights of my life at Front Row Paul Fest. So many friends, 3 bands that I absolutely love. Getting to fulfill my dream of being Mosh Pit Josh, that's a Hold Steady reference, on stage for the last song of the evening. It was just way too much fun.
Yeah, I'm going to second that was like one of the all-time great concerts I've ever been to. It is so much fun to have so much love at a rock and roll show. It is, everybody brought their A game. Congratulations, Claire. You brought your A game.
For once.
Yeah, for once.
I did it.
Yeah. Nationally, I went to Riot Fest, as we've talked about, and the band 100 Gex it should not be a band that I like, right? Because it's 2 people on stage, 1 keyboard, and a lot of sampling, but they are a ton of fun. And Frog on the Floor is your favorite song.
Okay.
All right. Claire, how about you?
I enjoyed the hell out of the State Fair show with Bob Mould and Dillinger 4 and the Hold Steady.
Thanks for throwing that in.
I guess I'll cover my bases. And then, I'm going to talk a little bit about the benefit for Rob Tosova. For me, that was like the highlight of the season.
Yeah.
Like it was a room packed with just so much love and friendly faces and smiling and great music. And for a really good benefit. And if you didn't go, you fucked up. However, if you still want to help out Rob, you can, and we'll put that GoFundMe link in. But it was like a huge shout out to Fret Rattles and Vacant and Virgin Whores and Dillinger 4 and the folks who showed up to play with the Goo Goo Mucks, Rob Sells and Joe Holland and Keely Lane backed that band. And then we had folks like Christy Costello and Dan Murphy, Matt Benson, Rob Tosova did some songs too. Who else? Cindy Lawson, of course. Oh my gosh, she was amazing.
Lawson killed.
She was phenomenal. Like it was really, really great. John Ensley, did his stuff too. It was really, really great. And then I'm missing a couple people, and I don't want to be missing anyone.
The other Ben.
Ben Bachman and Ben Crunk.
Yes.
And I think that's it. I think that's everyone. And if I forgot anybody, I'm really sorry.
Right. We'll come back and edit it later. We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Technical
As
difficulties.
we always do.
Right. But it was just such a I left on cloud 9. It was so much fun. And there were so many great people there, all just to come together as a community and support one of our own who needs a hand right now.
Hey, speaking of that show, we've got clips.
No!
Yes!
Get out of here!
We got so many clips. Paul, do you want to tell us what clips we got?
I do. We've got the Fret Rattles, we got the Virgin Whores, we got Dillinger 4, and of course, the Goo Goo Mucks.
And after that, we'll have an interview with John Clifford.
back to episode 9 of Some Kind of Fun. And once again, we're about to have some kind of fun because we're joined with my pal, John Clifford, owner, proprietor of Hi-Fi Hair, one of the coolest record stores in town, hairstylist to the stars. How are you today, John?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, really a pleasure to have
love
you.
you, man.
So, John, tell me how this all started, this coming back to Minnesota, the Hi-Fi Hair. You're in Michigan, you're cutting hair. You're essentially Warren Beatty. And then...
Well, I grew up here.
Yeah.
And got my education here. Cut, my music education here as far as, all of that as well. Cut my teeth there. And I moved away in '89 to Michigan. And was there for about 15 years. I think it was about 15 years.
Yeah.
But I would come back here all the time, like periodically. I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year I would come back based on whatever shows that I would see in the Reader or the City Pages, because I would have those sent to my house in Michigan.
Nice.
So I could keep up with what was going on. So I could try to at least plan trips around seeing shows when
Sure.
I came back here. But when I would come back, in the 90s, that was kind of the height of the Loring Bar and all of that, and that was always kind of a stop whenever I would be back, and of course I'd walk around the block and then be looking at the buildings and thinking, when I move back here, this is where I should do something. I mean, it just always seemed the right place to do something like that. So, I did come back and it was so great to be back home again. You don't know what you had until you don't have it. And as great of friends as I made in Michigan, perfectly good life and all of that. What they didn't have is a music scene. They had some music, they had some bars that would have live bands. Every once in a while, people would come through. I saw Zuzu's Pedals one time when they came through.
Okay, cool.
Saw the Replacements on their last tour when they came through Kalamazoo, stuff like that. But it was sort of, it was hard. You had to search for it. And I'd have to drive to Chicago or Detroit if I wanted to see most what I would consider like interesting touring bands.
Sure.
So yeah, you don't know what you have until you don't have it anymore.
So, John, you kind of have a bifurcated business. You have the hair salon on one side and the record store on the other side. Is it tough to try and balance the two out?
Not really. I mean, it's it would be had I not started the record side under the tutelage of John Cass and Terry Katzman, and then bringing Steve McClellan in. Had I not had that as a foundation,
Sure.
and been able to learn from all three of those, it'd be impossible.
Yeah.
And but I guess I've over the years I've sort of learned that the room that I've created is sort of like a daily house party, where people come in and out. Sometimes they're coming in to record shop. Sometimes they're coming in to get hair service. Sometimes they're just coming in to hang out, and all three just sort of meld together. And it's one of those things. We live in Minnesota, so everybody's really Minnesota nice, and they come walking in, and if they're just kind of coming to hang out or something or to check the place out,
Right.
they're always like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I don't want to. And what I don't think people realize is that it's impossible to interrupt in that room. You know, you can't interrupt anything because as soon as you walk into that room, you're part of it, and and that's kind of how I like it. You know, I want interruption is great. That's what life should be. It should be one big interruption. You know.
Well, your hospitality is well known, appreciated, and we all do love coming and hanging out. Our clubhouse used to be Orfolk Jokabus.
Yeah, well, exactly, exactly. And you know that we grew up in a time when there were hangouts, there were places we could go, and we've all become very insular with the advent of the internet and all of that, and shopping malls or whatever. And then it got even worse, you know, over COVID and lockdown and blah, 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 and all that. So things became very insular. And it, I like having places that, you know, are a welcome sort of hangout, you know. Mm-hmm. I like community tables. I like, you know, I don't know. I like sharing spaces.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and you brought up an interesting segue for me here.
Oh, okay.
Which, thank you. So you had done shows prior to the plague descending upon us.
Yeah.
I mean, the suburbs out on the loading dock
yep.
was one of the all-time great shows.
And that was a hell of a lot of fun.
But then COVID came and everything shut down. And you started having shows that brought us in the scene all back together again. Can you tell me kind of the genesis of that and the lowdown on the Hi-Fi Hair shows?
It was horrible. We were all, you know, we're at home. And the only thing that saved us was we had a beautiful spring that year.
Yeah.
And we really had a beautiful summer. And so the only thing that saved us was that we could be outside, you know. And I mean, imagine had that shit happened, you know, if it began in late October instead of, you know, the shutdown happening in March. But it didn't. It happened in the summer. But, you know, so we went through the summer, and we, you know, as crazy as we were going, as evidenced by videos that I was doing every day, I was kind of getting weirder, and maybe a little sometimes shaky in the head at times. So by the time the summer started to wane down a little bit, I was freaking out because we still couldn't go to clubs. We still couldn't do anything. We still couldn't, you know, places weren't open yet. And I'm like, all right, this is it. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do it. And so we did. We, you know, I think the first one that year was Faith Boblet and Mae Simpson and the Get Together Band. And good Lord, it was fun.
Yes.
And it was great because, you know, and we were all, you know, everyone was always, you know, I don't know, are we going to be safe? Is everybody going to stay apart? Are they going to have masks? Are they going to have respirators? Is there going to be an EMT team? Or are we going to be, is everything going to be okay? And I just thought, you know what? The people we know are going to do it right. And they're just going to be decent human beings. And they proved me right.
Yeah.
And everyone showed up, and everyone was wearing masks, and everybody kind of, you know, they kept their distance, you know, they kept within the person that they came with, but then they'd still talk, and they'd still have, you know, but they kept their distance, they were being great. And I mean, honestly, and there's been so many memorable shows back there, but that particular one, just I was in tears.
Yeah.
Just because it finally we had something.
It was
Finally
such
we
a
had
relief.
we had music. It was like rains after a 20-year drought or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was magic.
Yeah. So, John, during the pandemic, you gave us a daily video emphasizing that there's light beyond darkness. Where did that come from, and how did you get going with it?
I did a thing right after, right after a shutdown or something like that. Just like a mime, something, whatever, of me cutting someone's hair who was not sitting in my chair. Just, right? Just empty chair and me just cutting hair. Because I did literally, I sat in my shop on the floor, in the middle of the floor on the last Saturday, and this is before they announced a shutdown.
Yeah.
But that last Saturday, I had spent the past 3 days without one phone call, 0, right? And like no one was calling in to make an appointment, right?
Yeah.
And 3 whole days, not one. And at the end of my day on that Saturday, I just thought, oh my God, what the hell is going to happen? And I remember making some sort of a social media post saying something to the effect of, this might have been my last busy day for a long time, whatever. And then sure enough, that that following day, I think it was, the announcement came that everything was going to be shut down. And so I made this mime video.
Mm-hmm.
And, because I came in that following morning, even though we were going to be shut down, and I came in, and I'm sitting around in this room that I've built and I've curated and I've coddled and, all of that. And it was scary as hell. I don't know. It was scary as hell. And I didn't know what else to do. So I did that. So I did that dumb video. And, and then it sort of, then things start happening, right? Like, the insane, like, we're out of toilet paper. Oh my God, go to the store. And people are buying up cases of toilet paper, and people are buying up all the handy wipes, and people are buying up all the blah, blah, blah. And you couldn't find anything and whatever. So then it becomes comical, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, so then I just started kind of making, some parody sort of things a little bit, because it kept me busy,
Yeah.
whatever. And
the message was always, there's light beyond the darkness.
yeah.
So the last show of the 2023 Hi-Fi Hair season is this coming Sunday. The show will be the same day that this airs. But tell us about that show, and hopefully we can promote it the week before and make sure it's well attended.
We've got Jailbreak playing that's Jailbreak exclamation point. Jailbreak.
Jill.
Playing at 2:00.
Okay.
We have Katie Vernon's new band that she has been dreaming of for quite some time and putting together and procuring. It's their debut by happenstance. They were supposed to have a debut this last week, but it got canceled due to weather. Favorite Girl is the name of her new band.
Jenny Case,
Jenny
lead
Case.
guitar, I believe.
Yes,
That'll be
yes.
good.
Followed by the Belfast Cowboys.
Yeah, talk about your Vegas send-off.
And they are going to be playing at 4 o'clock.
Nice.
And so until whenever they feel like quitting.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do around here. Really appreciate it, John. Thank
Fucking
you.
love you, Paul.
Yeah.
Welcome back to episode 9, and now it's time for us to discuss things, Claire, not debate, not yell, not scream.
Oh, come on. You guys are like harsh in my
Save it for the stage. The first one is from Jack, and it is t-shirt etiquette. Is it okay to wear the t-shirt of the band you're going to see? Paul?
I would say it's okay, but it's also trying too hard. You want the band to notice you, and you're in their shirt. Wear their shirt to another show that hopefully you think that band will show up at, and then everyone feels good about it.
Yeah. Claire, you have the con.
I say wear whatever the hell you want. Like, you know.
I appreciate you to avoid the potty mouth.
I almost never swear. I don't know why it's coming out here. I don't. That's not
It's
a
the
thing
company.
normally. I know. We're a bunch of dirtbags, us here, some kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know. I think you should wear whatever you want. If you want to wear a band shirt, wear a band shirt. And you can wear it at all of the shows if you want.
Cool.
You can do it all.
You can do it all.
You should wash that shirt in between stuff once in a while, but
Okay, now you're causing fights. No, I agree. You should wash your clothes. All right.
it's not
All
controversial.
right. Be it resolved. I think we're all okay
Be
with
resolved.
this.
You sure.
Wear what you want, but wash it.
Wash it.
And don't skip leg day if you're a drummer. The second topic we had is recent local releases. What has been on your radar?
Well, I love Beyond Reason by Run Westy Run. And I've been hearing those songs for years, and they finally released the album, and it was like song after song was, oh, I know that song. I know that song. It's top notch. Very good.
Yeah. So what locally, what I've been listening to a lot lately is on Bandcamp. Mary Jam did a live show at the White Squirrel of 90s Night, and they have a great version of All the Small Things. They have a great what was that other one? Now I feel like a real jackass. Well, they got a great version of All the Small Things. And
What else do you need?
Yeah, what else do you
Really,
need? Yeah,
like-
exactly.
Everything else is a small thing.
And their originals. It's just they're a great live act. And then I think the topic du jour is Tim the Let It Bleed edition. I think that that sets the standard for how to do a remix of an album. It is a whole new listen. There's new parts to songs that were buried in the mix from the 1985 version. And I just think they did a really good job.
Claire, new release and opinion on the new Replacements box.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, the customers had a really great release this year. And it was just really, really rocking. And to see them perform was a lot of fun, too. So I'm a big fan of that record. In terms of Tim, I haven't listened to it yet. Tim's not my favorite Replacements era. Sorry, you guys. I'll see myself out.
Minneapolis is a replacements town.
I'm not. Well, okay. Yeah, I just have. It's not like it's not on my to-do list.
You know
It's not like I
another.
won't listen to it.
I'm a big fan of the Scarlet Goodbye, but their version of Celebrated Summer is a lot of fun. It's Dan Murphy described it as a campfire song, and I think that is a good description of that version of Celebrated Summer.
Cool. The new Tim. Love most of it. Especially love the fact that they brought the guitars out.
Yeah.
And you can hear both guitar tracks on every song. And so that's really cool. Some of the other stuff that they brought out, I don't know if I like it yet or it distracts me.
Put it back in.
And I just
put it
want to
back
push it back into the background. But
You got to fill a box set.
and I love it. I mean, it's a whole new listen. How we don't get that often, hopefully. Yeah.
Now we got a third set of clips, a lot of them from Front Row Paul Fest, including The Silent Treatment, Whiskey Rock and Roll Club, The Front Row Pauls, Wink, and Tromplement.
Hey, serving man. You're busy packing for the cat. Hey, serving man. So you knows more quickly. Hey, serving man. Let's make a drink and let the party. Happy and dance the way you will sing. You're all fine.
Right, Mike. Mr. Sway. Well, the way I feel inside, I could die and I wouldn't mind. There's something going on inside. Makes me wanna feel, makes me wanna try, makes me wanna blow the stars in the sky. And I'm taking myself to a dirty part of town. All my trouble can't be found. Do my Jagger. I'm taking myself to the dirty part of town where all my troubles can't be found. Makes me wanna feel, makes me wanna blow the stars from the sky. Now you get it. You get the meta part about the.
Welcome back to episode 9 of Some Kind of Fun. We have right now with us KFAI DJ Krista Wax. Hey, Krista.
Hi, Claire.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me.
Your necklace and your earrings are so well coordinated.
Sometimes I get very, very matchy.
Excellent.
It gets a little out of control. It's one of my beige flags.
Gotcha. Beige flag.
It's not a red flag, but you know.
It's that pre-red flag. Okay. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the radio. In radio. Not really the radio in particular, I suppose. I'm really good at what I do.
So I got started in KFAI about 8 years ago, and it was just kind of like I wanted to do something. And I was kind of looking around, and I'd always had an interest in radio. My day job has nothing to do with radio. And it seemed like a fun opportunity. I did a wave project, and that's where you pick like a subject matter that you want to cover, and you get to just host a show for 1 hour. Just a one-time thing. Someone comes in and they do like the engineering, and you just put on this show. And so my show was Ladies of the 80s, because this is my jam still. And I just never left. I went on to do helping with the morning blend show. We used to do a morning show, so it was 1 day a week. I did the music. I leaned a lot towards events that were happening and local bands, and it just kind of went from there. That show ended, and then I had just started doing kind of my own show, and it was just going to be web only. And the music host of the local music show had just suddenly moved, and they're like, could you just like fill in? Could you just fill in while we figure out what's going on with the host? I'm like, well, okay. Like, I was going to do my own thing, and then can you just do you've done local stuff before. I'm like,
You can do
I'm like, yeah, right. Just change your format. Come on, not that hard. I'm like, well, okay. And here we are. About 5.5 years later.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
yes. Just kept
So you
going.
kind of just came into broadcasting like
I did.
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was just like, just looking for some hobby or like something fun.
Wow. And then
do.
here you are, like supporting the local music scene.
Yes,
Just like a hobby and I'll have a purpose.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. So you said you've been there like totally for 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Have you have changes kind of come and gone? Like, what have you noticed of how kind of like KFAI is like an organization, or is what KFAI does? Like, how has that changed in your time that you've been there?
That's such a good question. I think it's been really cool to see how with technology changes in the past 8 years, excuse me, it doesn't seem like there's been like that many changes, but just to see our station opening up more to the community and bringing in people who just want to do a podcast, and just having, we have like a regular stream, and that's just streaming only. And we have either music playing or just other shows, maybe people who could eventually get moved to like the regular the regular channel, the big show, the big channel, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, they're going to be like, what the heck is she talking about, the station? But it's fun to see just people get involved in that. It's fun to see with that irregular stream, we can do some really fun days like celebrating the day disco died or New Wave Day or just kind of doing anything else with it too. It's just fun to see other people's shows that pop up on there and anything else.
Cool. So you have Minneapolis Sound.
Mm-hmm.
How does that fit in kind of with, or I guess how does it like differ from, I mean, KFAI has like the gamut, right? In terms of programming, like that's one of the things that makes KFAI so awesome. How does your show kind of differ? How is it its own kind of thing within that gamut?
I don't. How is it exactly? I think
Define it for us, please.
Yeah, right. I will do my best. So I think what's great about the channel is that we just have, just like you said, just this wide variety, and on top of that, we have like so many shows cover local music. And I love it. I love that we all can. We had our 45-year celebration earlier this year. The way they picked artists for it, which I didn't realize because they were all my favorite artists it was like Mad Mojo Jet, and we had the Mulatas, and I know I'm missing a couple bands, but it was, the program director, they all took a look at who we were all playing, and these were the bands that we were all playing on our shows, or like on enough shows that they're like, we're going to ask these bands because this community, and this is what we all were playing together.
Sure.
And how my show differentiates, I just cover it all, like
Welcome aboard.
Right, exactly. I know mine probably isn't much different than anyone else, but I'll stretch the boundary a little bit. I'll play with that boundary of Minnesota music of like, oh, it was produced here. So like, I love Janet Jackson. So since it was made here, I will play Janet occasionally, not all the time, but I'll have to throw my Janet on there here and there. But I guess it's just, it is focused solely Minnesota music, where other shows have more of a differentiation and maybe do other things with it.
Sure.
But I try to focus a lot on events and new bands and new music coming in.
And I mean, we appreciate that. Like, that's just such a cool thing to do. I mean, to be able to kind of have that like collaborative sort of, here's your, the kind of the voice behind the music community. And like, that's so important for artists too, right? Like, and so that's such a cool thing that you do. Like, we love you for it.
I love all of you.
So tell us more about you said it was the 45th anniversary show.
Yeah.
Tell us about the event.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. We had like, one of our, our managers there had hand stamped like party hats, and we had like cake, and it was the hook and ladder, most important. Of course, I'm seeing it all in my head. You can't see what's in my head, unfortunately.
I'm trying.
Fortunately, it was at the Hook and Ladder. It was one of the first outdoor shows of the season. It was May 5th, and it was just so much fun. It was such a good turnout, and just fun to see other hosts and just all of us and the community getting together and seeing all these bands perform.
Sure. So one of the things that we talk about, what we have like kind of a monthly topic here at Some Kind of Fun. And what we talked about this episode was new releases this year. Mm-hmm. Do you have any new releases that you've played or heard from local artists who like that are really exciting to you? Yeah,
I do. There's, I think, a couple that are coming up. I'm going to talk about one that just came out, was Black Market Brass. I'm a huge fan. Their album just came out a couple of weeks ago. It was fantastic. I love their sound. I love the variety of instruments. I love watching they don't do that many live shows anymore because there's so many people, and I don't think they all live here, right? So like, I don't think they're all here full time anymore. But just to watch them all perform together, is at their album release show a couple weeks ago. It was just, I just love watching everything that they're doing, along with like the band Malamania. They both have like that big loud sound, and just so many percussionists and instruments, and just so many things going, and it's so organized. I don't know how that's kind of what I'm amazed with. Like, how does everyone know what they're doing and how they're doing it? But that's why they do. That's why I don't. That's why I play the music. I'm not up on stage with them. They don't want me. That's okay. A couple bands and albums that are coming up in October I'm excited about. Jordan Johnston is a brand new artist, new album coming out. I'm excited. As I said, I love Janet Jackson, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. Anyone listens to the show, they're probably rolling their eyes now going, yes, we know. But I am deeply obsessed with them and their music. And Jordan is a young R&B singer, and his dad had worked at Flight Time with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And so when I first heard his sound, I thought, this sounds like Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, like the Minneapolis sound. And when I was researching him further, found out like those were his influences along with Mint Condition. So I lean very much into like the R&B and like pop and stuff. And his music is great. That's going to be a great album. His album release show is going to be with Stokely of Mint Condition. So like, I mean, my goodness.
Wow.
I know, right? Way to get started.
Yeah. Like
a little mind blown. And then Lady Midnight has a new album, and I'm very excited about that. She's been working with Laserbeak. That's coming out in a couple weeks. So
cool.
I'm really excited. And of course, I've been able to listen. I don't know why I have to whisper, but I was able to listen to both of them.
we won't
earlier.
You can turn it down if you think you
Yeah, oh my God. I'm so excited. But just really excited. I've listened to them both, and they're really good albums. So
Cool.
I'll recommend that.
So what are, and I'm sure that those are among them, what are there any shows that you're looking forward to locally coming up?
Oh, yeah. The other one, I forgot to, Annie and the Bang Bang.
Oh, yeah.
Course.
Right on.
Love them.
Sure.
So I'm really excited about that new album. I have not listened to it yet. But that, I felt like I need to say that on record.
Do you get like sneak previews? Like, are people like, here's your, really?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And it's really fun, I think, because Annie and the Bang Bang are coming on my show soon. And they get to premiere one of their new tracks. And so it's really fun when artists reach out and they're like, oh, this song is coming out soon, but could you play it early? Or like, we really wanted you to premiere. I'm like, yes, that's just makes me really excited and fun that they like not trust me with it, but just are like, hey, could you just play it? I'm like, absolutely.
Sure.
Just like, yes, here's a sneak preview. You'll find it on streaming later, but right now you can find it on
Cool.
MSP Sound. So yeah, or exclusive tracks and things like that. It's just really fun.
That would be fun. Like, I'm a little jealous. So KFAI is community radio, and the organization does like just a ton of fundraising, I would imagine, to stay afloat and continue to do the really important, cool work that they do. How can folks support that process?
Oh my gosh, beautiful question. Thank you. Yeah, like you know this. Yeah. Yes. Well, our next pledge drive starts, I believe, October. Actually, I'm more focused on when it is for my shows, but it'll be, they're going to kill me. October 18th, I think, through October 31st.
Okay.
So I know MSP Sound working on a special show for October 23rd. And then the next Monday would be October 30th. So I always do a Halloween themed show. Like, I was surprised how many local artists have like a spooky-ish theme. It was just like, I'm just going to do a set of like spooky tunes. And I realize now every year it expands where like I can do full 2 hours with
Gonna need more
spooky-ish
time.
tune, right? So that's what I have coming up. But you can always donate anytime, kfai.org/donate. Pledge drive coming up in October. So we're all excited about that.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank
Like,
you.
You're so much fun.
Oh, thanks. It's a little nerve-wracking being on the other side of it. Being in the hot seat.
Video,
was clean. 6 was bad, unseen, and the rich were so clean. Stately homes for the Lord, crooked lawns, village trees, Victoria for the Queen.
Beat on the brat, beat on the brat, beat on the brat with the tennis racket. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh oh. Beat on the brat, beat on the brat, beat on the brat with the tennis racket. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh oh. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh oh. What can you do? What can you do? With a brand like that was on your back, what can you lose? What can you do? What can you do? With a brand like that was on your back, what can you lose? I lose. Thank you.
Welcome back to Some Kind of Fun. Now it's upcoming shows. Claire, what do you got?
So October 27th, the Black Widows, the Goo Goo Mucks, and Spit Takes are playing at the Hook and Ladder. And then on October 7th at the Green Room, Cindy Lawson, the Carnegies, and the Von Tramps are playing.
So I've got a couple of shows I'm interested in. On October 7th, I'm hitting a double header at Surly. Mary Jam is playing with the Co-Defendants. And then I'm heading over to the Fitzgerald Theater to see Jonathan Richman. And then on October 28th and 29th, Bob Mould is in town for at the Cedar Cultural Center for an all-ages show. And then on the 29th, he's at the Turf Club.
And I'm very much looking forward to seeing the Products Band at the Green Room on October 6th. And then my big personal outing is going to Austin for Levitation again over Halloween weekend. And so the big show is Dandy Warhol's Brian Jonestown Massacre and the Black Angels. So
nice.
That'll be a nice evening.
Yeah. And taking us out is Booze Water.
To drive this old Ford.